Wait, go ahead. What?
Okay.
Wait, I'm lost.
So we're starting.
Oh, okay.
Go ahead, Matt.
Oh, okay. So,
I can't get over Allan. I just can't get over Allan. This is the best way to start our chat.
Best start ever. Best start in A. Go ahead, Matt. You run it first, man.
I'm wondering why it says that we're offline.
Oh, thank God. Oh.
The pinky and the brain.
No, I don't know. I'm checking it out.
the band cam one.
No, on the front page. Yeah, we're good.
Oh.
Yeah, we're starting.
Okay.
Yeah, we're already up. We're loading.
Go ahead, bring us in, Matt, because you can see everything, and I can't. So.
Well, there's a 12-second delay to this, so they've already seen the past 12 seconds. But
that weird, awkward moment that we just had?
Yeah. I was all right. It just took a second.
Okay, so let's just do the introductions real quick. We're doing the first DOA podcast, obviously. We got a range of topics between Road to TFC, Paris Tournament, all that other good stuff. I am Chris NinjaCW. I don't know exactly where I am on the stream, but I'm on there.
I'm Matt. I'm Matt Ponton, owner of Free Step Dodge. We also have Allan Paris joining us.
Yo, what's
so
up,
did you want me to put you as NinjaCW? I could change that.
Sweet baby Jesus.
We're live. And we have the half asleep Emperor Cal also joining us.
Hey guys.
It's like 4 a.m. for that guy. Kudos to him for showing up for this.
It is 4 a.m. guys. That's how hardcore I am. That's how I roll.
I think he meant crazy. Anyways, so now that we got the introductions out the way, let's just get it started up. We got DID 10 coming up in Summer Jam. Those are both qualifiers. Top 2 gets the free ride to TFC, obviously, with lodging and entry fee, I guess. How do y'all feel about that?
I don't hear it too often coming from other game studios. Promoting.
It's in America. It's outside my jurisdiction. I can't afford to go.
You're invited, dude.
The struggles seem real.
Much as I'd love to.
You do live in a place that I do not know of. Yeah. What do you think, Allan?
I think it's pretty cool. Like, you really don't hear too many companies reaching out to the community players to even, because I think Team Ninja, not only are they're paying for the venue fee, the registration, they're also rooming and boarding you. I guess with a roommate, of course. Like, not too many companies go above and beyond to do that for its players. So I like it. It's a good start. Hopefully it grows into something.
Who y'all think gonna show up for these though? Like, well, obviously Manny's gonna be at DID, and
it's his event, so
yeah, it's his event. He's gonna be there. I'm pretty sure some of the
an anime convention called Acon to run it again, so it should be a lot of fun. Have a lot of players in there because you'll get a lot of casual players there.
Sweet Revenge should be there.
Oh, that's right. He's a Texas local.
Yeah, I think Electrified Man should be there.
Also a local.
I heard Hoodless is gonna come from Illinois to go down there. I don't know if he's gonna actually go, but he told me that it's in his plans.
Oh, so we might have it might be a good showing there though, I think.
Yeah.
Especially since they have the announcement, like, especially since you get a chance to win a free ride to another tournament.
Yeah, like,
not only do you get the plane ride paid for, you get the hotel paid for, and you get the entry to the DOA 5 tournament paid for.
Yeah.
That's really good stuff.
You don't have to do anything but just.
And you ain't even got to win. You just got to get top 2.
Exactly.
Yeah, you ain't even got to win. So
we gotta send a shout out to Team Ninja for all the support that they've been giving us. Really, I mean, they've been really doing a great job putting DOA on the map, and it's actually giving us a lot of respect from other communities. And I'm actually, you gotta hand it to guys like Tom Lee and things like that. I'm sorry. Did you guys say that already? I just
no, nobody said that.
Okay, well,
we said it in spirit, but not in.
Yeah, don't worry, Kyle. We're gonna bear with you because we know it's 5 a.m. and you don't know and we don't know where you are right now, and that's okay.
We don't know where you are, and you don't know where you are.
Yeah, so it's an awkward situation for all of us. Don't worry, we'll be fine.
But in addendum to what you were saying, though, I mean. I still remember when the DOA 5 Ultimate came out, and the fighting game community was going crazy just the idea that Team Ninja had put on the ticker, hey, good luck to all of our players at TFC, right? And just the idea that they were like, oh my god, they're acknowledging like a tournament. Like, I don't know, like I just remember a lot of the fighting game community going ape shit over, like, man, I wish our games had that, or I wish our community had that type of support.
Yeah.
I mean, they just announced at the ECT today, just about what, 2 hours ago, that it's going to be an $8,000 pop prize to the top 6 at this year's TFC.
Oh wow,
wasn't it $6,000 or $8,000 last year?
Yeah, I don't remember the exact count last year. I think it was
5, wasn't it?
No, it was more. I think it was 6 at final round and 8 at
TFC.
Okay.
Yeah, you're right.
Because of the tournament play also had, I think, at least $1,000 towards the top 3 winners. Well,
oh, was that it? Was like a total of 8, I think.
Yeah, I think it was a total of 8. Yeah.
All right, that makes a little bit more sense. Okay, yeah, because I think it was like 6,000 then for TFC.
Yeah, and that's actually pretty cool. Like for the company is showing consistency like that. You know, each and every year. Hopefully, they keep it going. If they don't, you know, it's up to us to keep it going. So
yeah, it's a good incentive for the players to keep coming out and playing. Actually,
yeah,
that's why I'm hoping it's not a one and done, and everybody keeps showing up. But I'm thinking more. This is more for the new generation of players to come out and keep coming out. This is a good time for them to get their feet wet, get in there and jump in there and play some games.
Yeah, I think one of the big problems that we have is that you have players who are too afraid to just jump in, and I understand how daunting it feels because I think we've been there before. I think we all started there where you go to the first tournament, you never think you're going to be good enough to actually win the thing. Only a few people actually did, but it's a part of getting used to the nerves of it. I saw some people talking about how they're not good enough this year, so maybe they'll try again next year.
Yeah, it doesn't. I mean, I try to tell players like you don't really. I mean, and I don't know like their mindset back behind it, but if you sit and you play and you know the game, it really doesn't change offline all that much. It's really your nerves. Like for me, when I started out, like I had to wear headphones because of the background. Like it got to me from like people watching and just the noise in general. And after years of doing it, after my first few tournaments, like I no longer need it. Like I find the headphones to be annoying now.
You learn to channel it out, basically.
Yeah, pretty much, yeah.
But the thing is, I mean, there's one point that I really want to, send across to all these new players, is that at the end of the day, whether it's 2 guys attending the tournament or 2,000, at the end of the day, there's only going to be one winner. So, I mean, it's great to go with the intention to do your best to see where you are, like, and win. But let's be realistic. I mean, only one player is going to win at the end of the day. So you're not just going to the tournament for that one spot. You're going for the whole experience. I mean, you're going there, and it's a nice social outlet. You get to meet a lot of people that have the same common interest as you. You get, you get to learn from the experiences of other players. Like you say, like, you meet up some guy and you tell him, hey, I have trouble with this matchup. Can I have a few games with you? Things like that. Those little things, like the little jokes people crack at each other on the side. And I think Matt would agree with me. Like the best thing about a tournament is the after tournament dinner.
Well, it's like I think Allan can vouch for me on this one. It's like I tell everyone when they first come to the tournament. My goals when I go to a tournament have changed over the years. I never really tried to be. I always try to do my best at them, but I never thought I was ever going to be the #1 guy because I wasn't placing it like first or second or third. And so as the years went on, it was pretty much like my primary mission, my primary reason I wanted to go to the tournaments was to see my friends. The friends that I made while at tournaments, and the friends I made online who I haven't met yet.
Yeah.
The second thing I want is the food. So it's the food, then the tournament, then the after tournament food, then the after tournament liquor. So you just tend to have a little cycle to it. But
I mean, that's one of the best things I gained from going to Japan. Like I actually finally met you in person. that was the first time we actually ever met, despite actually working together for so long. I mean, on the tutorials and on all that other stuff, you know, for the website. So it was actually really nice to actually see you in person. So that's one big benefit of actually going to a tournament. Not to mention that you get to actually also, you know, when it's a big tournament, you get to meet sometimes members of, you know, the creators of the game, like the director, the producer, the community manager, and those are also you know, cool people to meet, to voice your opinion to. And those guys definitely listen to everything you got to say, whether it's positive or negative. And I mean, if you have something like, you know, against the game, or you have a gripe against the game, that's the place to go to actually voice your opinion. And and if you have something positive and you want more of it, you know, that's also the place to go. So it's really not about that #1 spot. It's not about the money. It's not like, okay, yes, the 8,000 pop prize, you know, yes, it builds up great hype.
There are people who go for that reason, though, and, you know, but they just don't make up the majority of the players.
Of course, but at the end of the day, when you're one of those 50, 60 players that you just started in the scene, you're just, you know, hey, if you reach all the way up to the end, then, you know, props to you. But if you don't, it's not a loss that you went. It's actually, you'll realize that you have leveled up so much by just playing for those few hours, and you'll realize that you gained so much experience, much more than you would ever online. Despite having the online dojo, despite having the commentary, despite all that, it's so different when you play offline with someone. You learn 100 times more, and you take in so much more than you would in like 10 online sessions.
I can agree completely. Yeah, I can agree completely to that. Like, once I started playing offline, like after my my first 3 that I went to, I got progressively better at the game at a very fast rate than playing online. That's like when I kind of saw like the turning heel as far as of making the game work for me, is actually doing that. So for the players that are listening, you actually get better and better at tournaments if you actually put yourself in the mix of things versus just sitting at home and playing online. You'll get a really good sense of what works and what does not work. So yeah, I mean, everything that Emperor Kyle said as far as how your experience, it will skyrocket just from playing offline. Even if you're not playing against great players, just playing offline and knowing how the game works helps a lot better than just sitting at home and playing online.
Yeah.
Well, I'm traveling all the way to France from freaking Saudi Arabia just to actually get a taste of that. That's how much I'm craving it. Like, I'm dying to actually enter a tournament. You guys are so lucky. You get a tournament like every other month, and for me, the only chance I have right now is like getting out of the country and having to sacrifice a lot of time off of work and family. But I do this not because I intend, like, you know, not for that #1 spot. Obviously, I try my best, and I do want to achieve that eventually at some point. But I go for that experience. I go for that knowledge gaining that you get. I go for that socializing, the immense amount of friends you make. It's unbelievable. Like, right now, like, after going to Japan, I made so many friends there. Like, my Twitter feed is practically Japanese right now.
Well, for me,
so, like, I don't understand half the stuff they're saying, but, you know, it's just part of, you know, the whole experience. So
I can put it this way, you know, I've never once seen a tournament where the first place winner wins the match, basically says, "Where's my money?" and then leaves.
Yeah.
It's typically like a community-driven event. Like, you're typically with friends or peers, and if you're not playing casually before the tournament, you're playing them afterwards, or while you're in the bar. Doesn't matter. But I remember in Japan when you and me were over there, Cal, was that I remember them talking about like how Leon got second place in the tournament, and so they were talking about like how the Taiwanese were saying, I think it was the Taiwanese, it was either Singapore or Taiwan, and they were saying that before they were only playing the game just about speed, Sarah, Kasumi, Christy, and they were like seeing me play as Bass.
That's the Koreans.
Koreans, okay.
You mean Test and Diablo?
Sure, I don't remember the exact.
Yeah, those are the Koreans, yeah.
Yeah, and they basically, with the playstyle they saw of the Leon players who were there, and my Bass, they were just like, oh, maybe we haven't been looking into a lot of this. So we thought this game was just this, and just by coming to this event and seeing for ourselves all the different styles of play, that were going on, they were like, oh, there's more to it than this. And I remember E-Rock, he's like he was number 3 on the leaderboards, at least in the arcade. And he had tweeted, I don't remember if I showed it to you, but I think he tweeted that on Sunday or Monday, it was the Monday after the event, I like 3-0'd him, like 3 matches in a row, and he was just like, Matt's improved in 3 days. Like, it's like on Friday Matt had trouble beating me, and now he's shutting me out. What the hell is going on here?
Well, look at our matches, you and me. Like, I had 0 experience against Bass, literally 0 experience. And when tournament day came, it ended up being 50-50. Like, I was getting the floor wiped with me with your Bass when I first met you in Japan. Mm-hmm. But 2 days after, come tournament day, it actually ended up becoming 50-50. So and then I we had that single match, single elim Hail Mary thing. We just kind of went ham, both of us.
Twice.
And
twice.
What can I say, man? And it just, and that was it. But it definitely makes a difference. It makes a big difference. I would never achieve this if I had played online. Like if I played you online, I would never learn things that I learned by playing you offline. That's all I'm trying to say.
Well, the game changes drastically. Well, not drastically, but for the most part, there are things that you can hold, things that you can counter that is a lot, in hindsight, it's a lot simpler to counter it or try to counter it offline as opposed to online.
More reactionary.
Throw punishes, dude. Throw punishes.
Yeah, throw punishes kind of just go out the window because you're so used to not throw punishing online because it's so hard. And then you kind of see it in play when you watch streams. You see players play, you just go, why didn't he punish that? He's not used to punishing it because he can't online. He'll get hit. Or you see people attacking out of very strong disadvantage, and you wonder why. And that's because it's harder to punish things online. And that transitions because the game is played so much more online than it is offline. That's why it's important for the players to get out there and come to these events, especially when Team Ninja is supporting us.
Well, likewise, there's a bunch of players out there who play supportive roles in the community as well. For example, like I know Cal was talking to me while we were in Japan about how the Japanese were treating him and how they came by, they picked him up at the airport, they gave him a ride to the place, they let him stay at their houses, and which is great. And we had the same stuff happen in the States as well. I remember DJ McAteer, Immerwolf. I think it was Final Round, wasn't it, or it was TFC? It's one of the two. Where he was literally like, the guy was homeless. He had nothing but like a single car that was running on basically one wheel, and was just basically driving people to and from the airport because he loves this game, he loves the community, and he wants to support anyone who comes by. So it's just good to see those type of people in the community, and those are the type of people you tend to meet. In a vast majority of the people you tend to meet at a tournament.
Yeah, we're not all bad people.
Yeah.
The internet brings out the evil in us. You have to remember that.
I can't tell you how many times I try throwing my arcade stick whenever I'm playing DOA online with Bass. I'm already like -3 at neutral. I'm like -18 as Bass.
Yeah, well, you kind of have to be a mind reader online. That's where a lot of people get such strong guessing skills, because online you have to have strong guessing skills.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's where a lot of us get our playstyle from, at least back in that time.
That's that definitive line between reaction and prediction. Yeah. Online, it's all about prediction. whereas offline it's all about reaction.
You could defend a lot easier offline. But let's change the gears. Let's talk about Marie Rose, because she's a good character.
Well, she had a pretty good showing over at ECT this past weekend.
She did. She came out of the box a couple of times. They're still a little shaky with her, but they're coming around. I forget which one. I keep forgetting the kid's name.
Sonic Fox.
I think that's Sonic Fox. Yeah, I think it was Sonic Fox. I think he was using her.
The kid who plays in every game.
Yeah, that one.
Yeah,
it's hard, but because I think that's his cousin or his brother, right? And they look
his brother.
They look like the same person, so I just keep so they're just both Sonic. Now they're both Sonic Fox.
Well,
Not to just sidetrack off this topic, I'd like to talk about Mary Rose, but it just hit me. It's like 4 a.m. here, and is it like is his name Sonic Fox because it's like Sonic and Tails?
I can't even tell you how his name originated. I just know it's Sonic Fox.
I didn't even know it was spelled that way, and I thought it was spelled a different way, but apparently I was wrong. But
he used to spell it with like a saw, like SAW.
Oh yeah.
And then like whenever I would ask him at the events, how do you want your name spelled on the stream? And he was like, I don't really care. It doesn't really matter which way it goes.
Okay, so it has nothing to do with Sonic and Tails.
I think it was one of those things. People started spelling it like Sonic, and then he was just like, "Yeah, I'm okay with that."
Hey, he's
okay with people thinking.
Like
he's really good.
He doesn't care. He's just really happy to be there.
Yeah.
You didn't talk to him, like
Not only happy to be there, but happy to keep winning the tournaments and getting the money.
Yeah,
so.
that's
always fun. That's always fun to keep winning.
All right,
but to
back to Mary Rose.
Back to Marie Rose, but. Yeah, we saw they were kind of coming over the layer with her a little bit. They had some resets. A lot of it, actually, most of it was resets with her and her back turn stance. But
well, this is the first major with her, right?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, this is the first major with her that people were actually bringing her out, and they've making some strides with her. I think she's a really strong character. Personally, I think she's probably at this point in time, I think she's like the best character in the game. Just a little hard. She's harder to use. She's not Genfu, where it's simple and super effective.
Right.
He's like a broken Pokemon. Like you just do like 3 things and it's so hard to stop him. Whereas Marie Rose, I played Genfu for a while, and for a very long time I used about 5 moves, and he was virtually unbeatable unless you just guessed right all the time. Like it's really hard to beat, and he's still that way for the most part. Like they have some
especially
things around
in DOA
him.
3.
Yeah, we're not going to talk about. Look, we're going to stay on Marie Rose. We don't want to go into the dark path. All right.
Yeah.
We don't want to go there. Man.
Save that for the next podcast.
Yeah, we don't want to talk. We shouldn't even talk about that, man.
We'll save that when I come back from France region.
Let's wait for Cal's performance in ROF. That way we can really judge like how good is Genfu when he goes up against Sweet Revenge from Dallas.
Yeah.
But back to Marie Rose, like there was a lot of talk like about how good her jumping sidestep is. They're like, tracking moves don't even track to it. I'm like, you guys do realize it's a free stepping attack. It's not a sidestepping attack.
Right.
It's the same thing with Christie's sidestep and Hayate's sidestep. Marie Rose's jumping thing is practically just as good as the cartwheel in 3.1.
well, here's
honestly,
the
I would
people...
say it's a little worse because she can attack from it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And has an offensive hold.
Yeah, like it's crazy. Like the attack from it's super unsafe, but the pure fact that it's there is terrifying. Like
I don't think it's broken or in any way.
It's not broken, but it's definitely strong.
Well, yeah.
Here's the thing that people seem to overlook. If you look at the frame data, she's actually still throwable. In that sidestep, like at the first 6 or 7 frames.
Yeah, in the startup of it.
So you can actually throw her before she goes into the shenanigan.
But you have to know.
I'll say this, Cal. Throwing her before she gets into it is like it's ridiculous.
Yeah, like it's really hard.
Really hard to time. It's not even worth it.
Yeah,
you're putting yourself a high counter blow.
And then she hits punch plus kick coming out of it. Like you're eating close hit and counter hit.
Yeah, and then you're praying you're not next to the wall and you die.
Yeah,
like the struggles are really real against that character, and like as we saw, like they're like just scraping off the base of that character. Like they're not even doing like crazy things like there.
It was one of the things that to me, honestly, why I she's a really good character is that she doesn't have to play a certain aspect in DOA, which all of the characters have to, even the VF characters to a certain extent, and that's like stringing her. You can't string her at all because of that sidestep. Like most characters that go off into strings, if she sidesteps and hit punch plus kick, she blows up whatever it is that you're going to do.
Yeah, that too.
And I hear these complaints. I hear these complaints about her, and I'm just like, I had to deal with it all the time in DOA 3. You just had there's a sidestep. Like when you see these kids are thinking that this is new tech or something. I'm like, no, it's just a free step.
Hayate was ridiculous with his.
Well, I mean, you could do that even with like non-normal cast. That's how loose the sidestepping system, free stepping system was in that game. Was that if you were like a mid-screen range, you could almost sidestep even Jian Li's 66K. I mean, as long as it was like within mid-screen range, and depending on the attacks. I mean, Genfu's 6P, PP plus K. You could sidestep as he did the V cut, and you'd be on his back. So it's just like, I'm just used to seeing it. Like I'm like, okay, yeah, you can't be pushing buttons.
Yeah.
Isn't this what some people were talking about?
I went in and immediately found out ways that, because the way I use it against a lot of players that I played against, they can't stop it. But most characters have at least one attack to stop it. And what you do is you pretty much have to poke at her from range. Or when you do decide to string her, make sure it's the string with the tracking attack that will stop her.
That or the multi-hitting attacks.
Yeah.
Like I think I saw in the ECT stream, you know.
Oh yeah,
Jaeger was using Jaeger was using Riggs. I think it's 4KK really well to help stuff the entire sidestep attack.
Yeah.
Like it would catch her in those first 6 or 7 frames of her jumping. You know, but she's not invulnerable. Like if she jumps the wrong way too, that's also counts because she runs into the hitbox. She runs into a hitbox. Like I think I just posted a video on my Facebook of a friend of mine where I ended up charging at him, and he just happened to jump into the way of Bass's arm, and then got clobbered and lost the match. But
yeah, it's also really silly. Like I saw one of the players, they were on the desert stage, and she just so happened to try the sidestep like near the invisible walls. It also works this way in a corner because it's like almost like she's going in a complete 360 around you.
Right.
When she does it from those spaces, she pretty much puts herself right back in the situation that she tried to hop out of, and it's free guaranteed counter hits from that because she can't do anything.
Yeah, same exact thing with Hayate's cartwheel in DOA 3. If you didn't do it at the right angles, like you can end up going right into someone's attack.
Yeah.
And then like you know, and we're not saying that it's overhyped because it's definitely a very good tool.
Oh yeah, it's a really good tool.
It's a really good tool for her. But I don't think it's to the point where people should be, you know, thinking, oh my God, this is broken or anything. And I don't think I've heard anyone actually say it's broken. But it's just like, you know, there were some people who were, they were just like, oh man, that stuff is insane, you know. And I just want to make sure we're clear that I don't think anyone's actually saying this thing should be nerfed or anything.
Yeah, and just to clarify, because I know a lot of people talk about it stops tracking moves, being throws is one of them. The only reason she's stopping your throw from throwing her is because she's in an air state when she jumps.
Yeah,
and you're catching her in the startup frames when she's on the ground. That's why you're not able to throw her. Not that she's completely evading a throw like a traditional sidestep. She's hopping in the air, which is why
she's literally off the ground.
Yeah, exactly. That's why you're missing your throw.
She has a lot of damage potential. She has a lot of good strong read mix-ups, but
yeah, I don't. She doesn't.
She has a limbo stun. Yeah. She has 2 critical bursts, one from front, one from behind. She has guaranteed follow-ups from almost every advanced hold.
Yeah.
She has guaranteed follow-ups from her back turn throw. She has her sit-downs are actually very good. I think, if I'm not mistaken, the KK sit-down guarantees 6P. I haven't really tested her since
3P.
Release.
Or whichever one, like, it puts me on the list on, it guarantees.
It guarantees
like
3P. It guarantees 6P and 3P. And the beautiful thing about both of those options is that even on the fastest slow escape, because those attacks, even her 6P is stunning so deep, you can't slow escape the frame advantage to where you can't be critical bursted. So you have to hold from it.
Exactly. It forces you to commit as a defender.
Yeah.
And I mean, she does have potential, but she does lack when it comes to what do you call range. Her range isn't that great. Her range isn't that great, and every long range move she has is really unsafe and puts her at a throwable state. That's something people need to learn to punish more.
One of her attacks that I really like coming from range is her 66K. It's -7 on block, but because it's like Jan Lee's 66K or what's another character's attack that does this as well. It's a 20 frame move, but the hitbox on it is like, it's weird. It comes out late, so when you think you can move against her, you really can't. It's a great whiff punisher, and by it being -7, of course, against a non-grappler character, it's a pretty decent tool to move in, because she has her parry. So if people decide to hit buttons and they attack like in an autopilot mode, and she hits 4P plus K, she gets the her parry that parries both high and mid punches. Or she can go into her sidestep shenanigans if you decide to go into autopilot and just start swinging at her. So, yeah, 66K is a really good move-in tool for her.
66K. That's -6.
No, her forward kick. I mean, it may be one of those range things.
Oh yeah.
It's a range dependent type thing. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because Atomi sort of has the same thing.
Yeah.
66K. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, that's -7. Yeah.
Yeah. It's the character's crazy.
Yeah.
I think the one thing that people don't do is they don't punish a lot of the things that people are approaching with, but that's obvious because she's new.
You're right.
One thing. I mean, for people that rely on the game's frame data, the one thing you guys need to notice is that her 3H plus K. The roll.
Yeah, the roll.
Yeah.
Yeah. It says -11, but she's actually in crouching state for the first 5 or 6 frames of that, -11. So the only punish that you can actually give her is a low throw.
Yeah, and you have to pray that it gets there in time.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And then you have to pray it actually gets there in time, or you're gonna die.
Yeah.
Or exactly. Really slow standing throw.
Yeah, or just do nothing and block. That's what you should.
No.
I think that's what a lot of people should do. You can fuzzy her.
Yeah, you can. Yeah, that's something else I've noticed a lot of players are doing, is that they're playing a lot harder with certain characters than they should. Like with Mary Rose, you really don't have to stun her and then immediately go in on the buttons, because all of her stuns are fairly deep. So no matter whatever it is that you stun with, players have to keep in mind that no one is going to completely slow escape from any of her stuns. So you can kind of just poke them and then sit there and watch.
Yeah,
exactly.
Yeah.
Well, that and her advanced holds give her so much damage as well. Like,
yeah,
it's just she's gonna become one of those characters that's just really hard to approach. But I think that comes with offline play a lot more. Like characters like Helen is really strong because she's played the same way online and offline. You just go nuts. Same thing with Christy, just go nuts, and that's how a lot of people play them. And it's hard to get around that stuff because you're just so used to not being able to do anything online. And then offline, there are a lot of ways around that stuff that people aren't even really exploring.
Yeah, but one fundamental difference between Mary Rose and Helena is that the walk speed. I mean, when you enter Bokuho's stance with Helena, you can just start the match in the opponent's face, and there's nothing they can do about it.
Yeah, exactly.
Whereas with Mary Rose, you can actually space her out at the beginning. So that little gap that we create between the character and yourself, it just at a certain range, just like Helena, at a certain range, she's pretty much helpless.
Yeah,
like she only has so little options to throw at you. So it's all about keeping her out of that range, really,
and just keeping her from doing the basic stuff that she does, that she gets away with.
Exactly.
Like she gets away with murder a lot of the time. A lot of these players get away with murder, especially with unsafe things they do. But I mean, why not do it? Because it's not getting punished anyway. Just go ahead and finish the string. It's whatever. So, like,
exactly.
I mean, punishing. Just do it.
This is a philosophy people need to also learn. I mean, if somebody's not punishing you, go for it. You know.
Yeah, exactly. Like it rarely. A lot of things go so unpunished a lot of the time. Like I just see people just go nuts. I'd be like, wow. The fuck's not given today?
For the longest, when I initially first seen that type of play style, like it was making me mad. But I'm coming from like a completely different era of players where it's like you put yourself at -8, you're getting tossed. No ands if or buts about it. But a lot of the players now, it's like their mindset is I need to get on these buttons as quick as possible.
Oh, -8 means that I can 6P hit any of his punch attacks.
Yeah, exactly. And it's going back on what you were saying about using 5 attacks with Genfu is one of the reasons. Like Genfu is a really good character, but Sweet Revenge steamrolls players because they approach him with that mindset, and it's like, oh, you're gonna attack me at -8. Well, hold this lip stun. You know,
a lot of it as well, though. Like Sweet Revenge, he uses Genfu in a very particular way, and he'll even admit, like, he's getting away with murder a lot of times. Like, there's a lot of things that people actually sat down to study Genfu or understand what Sweet Revenge is doing. There are ways to get out of it, but they're not. They're just not. Yeah. Sitting down and saying, okay, how do I beat this?
Yeah, it's
a lot of fighting games. Go ahead. Go ahead.
Hey, me personally, like, I talk to him often in private, and every time I watch him at a tournament, or he tells me like, yo, I got this new tech. I sit in sparring mode for like 10 minutes, and I'm like, yo, switch it up, stop it. And he looks at it and he's like, damn it, Paris, stop doing that. And I'm like, come on, man, like. This is me, man. I'm not one of the newer guys. You're not about to run this. So constantly between he and I, like I tell players all the time, if you ever had to see he and I play in a tournament, you'd see a completely different gameplay than what you typically see because I'm not going for it. But then again, Chris was saying before, as far as them not punishing, it's like if you spend 3 or 4 months online and you can't punish, what's the first thing that you're going to do when you go offline for over the course of 3 days? You're going to do what your muscle memory tells you to do, which is at -8 to -13, hit buttons out of it.
Yeah, hit the buttons. Hit them fast too.
By the way, guys, I'm just messing around with Mary on training mode, and I just realized something insane that I don't think anyone ever brought up. Which is her crouching backwalk. You know when you press, for example, 7K and then go straight into crouching state and walk back?
Yeah.
7K?
That's insanely fast, dude. That's really fast.
It's really fast. Like, I have a local here that plays her, and he's pretty good with her. So I can just
do that, and it's such a troll way to walk back.
She does it all. He does that too. It's really annoying. She's actually really fucking annoying as a person to fight. It makes me want to cry.
It's actually faster than I would say almost as fast. Oh no, not as fast, but it's. I was gonna say as fast as a Korean backdash, but no, still Korean backdash is still the best way.
It's not super fast, but it's still fucking annoying to try to get around.
Yeah, because like if you had your back towards the opponent, just do crouching walk back, and I guarantee everything on Earth will whip.
Yeah, she's really hard to catch at times too because of her. She's so tiny, which is awkward. Nobody's tiny as her. It's fucking retarded. But anyways,
to go off, because we talked a little bit about Sweet Revenge here. We talked a little bit about Mario Rose and the new character. ROF is coming up this next weekend, right?
Yeah, that's definitely.
Yep.
Emperor Cal, you're heading over there.
Yep, looking forward to that.
We got Emperor Cal joining them. Sweet Revenge is also making the trek over from the United States over to France. And then,
that's cool.
And then you have Hurricane Rev got the funding, but unfortunately he had work issues, so he wasn't able to make it in the end.
You have the hot ball.
Like I don't know too much about the tournament. All I really knew was Sweet Revenge was going. I think Hutless was trying to go at one point, wasn't he? But
there's Sweet
He's
Revenge.
Actually going to DID.
Yeah, he's going DID, but which is just
Sweet Revenge from the States, myself from Saudi Arabia, Gehaktbal, I think it's from the Netherlands, I'm not really sure.
Yeah, from the Netherlands, yeah.
There's a guy called Shiraku, I think he's Belgian. There's a guy called Tulkas that recently moved to the UK, so I guess he's going to rep the UK scene there.
Yeah, Tulkas actually from at TFC last year.
Then there's a bunch of strong French players like Alucardo and Kai Dragon. And there was a Zach player that I can just never remember his name. But yeah, it's going to be a nice European event. Like people from all over Europe are coming. I know that there were a bunch of German players coming as well. So, and this is one.
How are you really preparing for that event? Because I mean, do you have any footage of most of the players?
I do, and the way I'm doing it right now is basically I'm playing the infiltration card. If you guys ever saw infiltration in Street Fighter, basically he'd have this little notepad like on his phone where he has certain like little tidbits on every single player and how they play and what strings they like to use and things like that. And before every match, he would like read it just to give himself a little bit of a head start. The way I'm doing it is probably somewhere around the lines of that, because let's face it, I'm in a country where I have literally no offline, no possibility to have any offline practice because there's literally no one playing aside from me. So if I really want to do good, I really have to have a little heads up before the match. You know what I mean?
Right.
So yeah, I'm looking at their playstyles, looking at where you know, the things that they like to do after certain strings, and I've come up with a few option selects here and there for certain things they do that might help me out. But you know, knowing all this is one thing, applying it in the match is another.
Yeah.
So
especially
it's all.
if it's like your situation where, you know, you
in my
don't have
situation,
any
it's really
offline
not
play
easy
at all, and you aren't even able to play online.
It's really not easy. Like my sparring partner is literally the AI in training mode, where they just stand still. It's like practicing for a tennis tournament with a wall. It's literally not possible.
At the least the DOA 5 training mode is the best training mode they've ever given us.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I hope. I mean, the only thing I can do is that I hope I can actually, you know, perform well. But I, of course, I am going to go. Yeah, I am playing to win. But at the same time, I'm being realistic about it. If that makes sense. Like if I reach a certain distance in the tournament, then I'm going to be quite satisfied given the situation that I'm in. But of course, I am as hungry for the win as probably Street Revenge or as Habbab or as all these players. Because otherwise, I wouldn't be paying all the money to go there as well. Like, you know, yes, I said at the beginning, it's the experience and the fun of the whole thing is a big part of it. But yeah, at the same time, you do want to go and see where you stand, and I want to go and see where I stand. So yeah, let's see how it goes.
Hopefully, I don't know what hours of head or behind we are to them, but I'd like to you know, see what goes on there. Told Sweet Revenge he better not fail America.
I think they're like 6 or 7 hours.
Well,
technically, you revenge that, man. Like, you know that's a curse whenever that happens.
Yeah.
People were telling me, Matt, you better not fail America by going to Japan and losing the Virtua Fighter characters in a DOA game against a 9-frame Virtua Fighter character.
Hey, the struggles might be real out there, man.
Technically, if I win, I'm repping America according to the French as well. So.
Oh really? Okay.
Yeah, like they put my name with a little American flag next to my name.
Well, we have 2 chances.
Is that because they don't know what your flag
you
is?
too. Don't fail us.
You're well known in the American scene, well enough known. So I think that you've been our adopted player.
Well, I think I've been like some universally adopted player because of all the videos. I mean, like half of the community doesn't know where I'm from. Yeah, so it's.
I think you and I are basically in a very similar boat, but I mean, granted, like, you know, I am in America. We don't have the same exact situation, but I remember during my first match at the tournament, I was told later that the translator was saying that Shimbori was talking about how, like, yeah, everyone in the English-speaking world knows who Matt is.
Yeah.
Wow.
It's very true. It's very true, though. I mean, I'm actually really, you know, grateful for all the support that like people are giving me. You know, for not just for the tournament. I mean, even for like the videos that I'm making, like all the support that I'm getting. I really do appreciate it, and it keeps me going. You know, it keeps me wanting to give out more, to try and help out as much as I can. So yeah, let's see how it goes, man.
I think it's going to be a pretty good tournament. regardless.
I hope so. I really hope so.
Get a good.
Yeah,
I just hope I go. I just hope I
are
go
they
reach one of those
They are streaming it,
points
right?
where I crack
At least I'm assuming.
and start mashing buttons.
I don't see why they wouldn't be streaming it.
Yeah.
I mean, like,
No, it's definitely going to be streamed. It's definitely going to be
You get a
streamed.
trailer like that going, and you better be streaming it.
Yeah.
No, it's going to be streamed.
Okay, that's good then.
I'll probably hit you guys up with the link on FSD as soon as I get the link.
All right, but I guess we can switch it one more time. Well, I think we talked about it a little bit, but not too much about the giant bonus of ECT and just a few players showing up and what we want to get a little bit more. But I think people were misunderstanding exactly how much 8,000 is split 6 ways. And that's assuming that a lot of people show up. Like a lot of people show up.
I remember telling Tom last year about like how there's a certain point where you could probably be giving off 4,000 and it would still be the same to most people when you're saying 8,000. Like you had that relativity and they're like, oh, it's only 4,000 more. It's. I think a lot of people are looking at like, oh yeah, they're giving you some money, yeah. And it's like they're giving practically an Evo payout for free.
Right.
You don't have to. Like, you have to get there and everything, but I mean, like, you're not required to do anything more than sign up for the tournament to actually, get a chance at the 8,000, and then participate in it in what I would expect to be a great social event.
It is a very good event. TFC was really good last year because I watched it.
I think that's supposed to be the Evo for the East Coast, so I mean, it's,
more or less.
So it's pretty cool that they are giving us a Evo-like payout because TFC is supposed to be that for us.
So that's what we need a lot of people to show up for it. I just want everybody to understand that it's 8,000 split 6 ways, which is not not you win and you get $8,000 before they start booking their.
So it's basically top 6 get an equal amount.
No. It's gonna have its own payout scale.
Yeah.
But it's basically.
Yeah.
So typically it's top 3. Only get it's going 70, 20, 10. So I imagine.
I get you.
I imagine it'd be like 60, 20, 10, 10 or something like that. Whatever.
Yeah, I get you.
Oh,
that's
sorry.
It's still really good money.
Yeah.
Yeah.
More or less, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, and that's just what Team Ninja is putting into the event. Like anyone who shows up, it's going to increase the pot as well.
Yeah, exactly.
If you have 100 people, that's going to be a $9,000 pot prize.
Yeah. Which is really good.
If we get 200 people, you're going to get a $10,000 pot prize. Plus whatever, just like what happened last year. If there's anyone else who gives any donations to the pot prizes, it's just going to increase it even more. It's only at least one. It's a big chunk. The biggest chunk of the pot prize is going to be coming from Team Ninja, I expect.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm thinking. I think, but I just want to hear who y'all think is going to win.
The character or the player?
The player.
The player.
I already know what character's going to win.
Okay. I know a character too.
I'm gonna say, assuming that Manny wins DID, he will go win. Unless he has a really bad day, because he's the only one that plays Hayabusa, and that shit's gay. Well, all right, I'm just gonna throw it out there.
Hayabusa has been, I think, toned down a lot from.
Let's be serious here. That character is retarded. Only Marie Rose can stand to his power. Like, that character. Manny be lying to... No, don't let Manny lie to y'all. Don't let him lie to you. See, he's already tricked Matt. He's tricked him. He's already tricked him. It's done.
Maybe it's because it's still a disadvantage match.
Yeah. Like, he lied to Matt. Don't believe the hype, though. Like, he is tricking all y'all. Like, that character's retarded. And it's not fair. And I'm pretty sure if he gets to TFC, I'm calling it here. If he gets TFC, he's gonna get at least second place.
He's gonna get.
He doesn't worry about dropping any one-frame juggle links.
And he won't, because he only plays that character. Like, what else does he do? He doesn't even do anything else. He's like, I guess I'll turn on DOA and play Hayabusa.
What else does he do?
Yeah, he just plays Hayabusa. And I'm gonna say that. And that's just it.
Yeah, really.
That's it. That's just it.
Well, it's like not even an hour after the announcement.
Not even for him last year.
When Manny needs to show up, See, he be playing with y'all when he had these little local events.
Yeah.
And it'd be like 6 people. He'd be like, whatever, I don't count loose. He'll throw it to like Vanessa or something, give it away. But now he needs to prove a point. Man, it's gonna be sad times. It's gonna be either him or Rakudo watch, because Rakudo been crying a lot on Facebook. He been a little sad about the online play. Watching some super gay shit. Yeah. He's gonna have one of the greatest nights of his life. Watch.
I heard he's back to playing the game.
Well, of course he is.
Yeah, of course he is. Yeah.
Well, keep in mind, TFC also had the top 3 from last year. Were also the top 3 at the final round before that. Like they were just in a different order. It was just Rakudo got second, and they got third in TFC, and Khaled Blades got first in that final round and second in TFC, and Lapido I think won both, right?
He won both.
Well, no, Lapido just won TFC.
Yeah, I thought it was just TFC, right?
Yeah, he won that last year. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Well, he said he's going to this one.
Yeah.
Well, of course he is. When he heard $8,000, I'm sure he went. I think we all were like, okay, well, if there's any prize over $500 there, then he's coming. As much as he bashes the game on Facebook, in his Prasad, but yeah.
I mean,
that's what me and Chris were talking about. Actually, like low key, Lopido is a little lab monster, and I've spoken to him a few times on the phone, just going over things. Like Lopido puts on really, really hard. Like no, Lopido does things.
Yeah, like he plays. He likes to trick y'all and think he doesn't play.
Yeah,
but he plays
it's a
lot.
Him.
He's like, I don't play this trash game. Turn on your Xbox or your PlayStation. You'll catch. You'll see him. He'll invite you, and you'll play. It's crazy.
You'll be playing the new Call of Duty, and you get an invite from Lapido saying, "Hey, get on DOA."
Yeah, and you're like, what?
Yeah, you're on DOA. This is a momentous occasion.
Yeah.
Like, come mash with me. Yeah, that's how he approaches me. Like, come mash with me, and then I'll come mash with him, and he's like, look at this stupid trick, and it's like, why, Lopido?
Lopido was the innovator of the just frame hold. He buffers as he does the attack, he's buffering the hold. So that way, if he gets put in stun, he's instantly holding as a buffer.
No.
Well, you can't do it now. Well, now you can't do it. But
They toned it down a lot. But back in the DOA 3,
maybe go into the game to figure out to prevent it. It's certain stuns in which he can't do it, and I had to go in and find them. And it's when the depending on what the stun is and how deep it is, he won't be able to do it. Which is in most cases, which is when you see him frantically trying to do it.
Yeah, it's just really hard to do it now. It's not.
Yeah.
In my opinion, it's like a really risky thing to do.
It's still doable though.
It's definitely doable, but it's hard to. You can.
It's like if you have, for example, a lift stun, it'll put him in big trouble because it'll come out really late.
Yeah.
Or it won't come out at all. Lift stuns are one way to punish it.
And that's one of the ways that I do to him.
When I was playing with the Japanese, one thing I noticed that they do a lot is that as soon as they get a stun initiator, they do a low throw immediately, because they're low throwing for those low hold spammers primarily, but they're also frame advantage in the stun. Like even if you do the low throw and you whiff and they don't hold, you're generally still like +2 to +3.
That's from lip stuns. Like for certain players that slow escape really say if they hit the fastest, which some players will do, you'll actually flip the advantage. They did something in Ultimate to where you no longer get it depending on how fast someone slow escapes now.
Yeah, but keep in mind also that in practice, no one's slow escaping fastest until the second hit.
You're right. Yeah.
You generally get that first hit for free, and then it's like a slow speed because they have to build up to that full time. Like it's just they're reacting to the fact that they're in stun. Should they hold? Should they not? And then if they're stagger escaping, then they end up getting into that. Mode.
Yeah, and I guess in a sense, that really helps by them taking the slow escaping off of a meter, how it was before in DOA 4. So by you having to hit that speed every single time you're stunned, you're not gonna hit it every single time, right? Okay.
And they got Blackberry saying. Anyways, No, I'm just reading the chat. I'm reading chat. I just saw something crazy.
Oh, there's a chat room.
We got two chats going on. There's one chat on the homepage of Free Step Dodge using FSD's chat system, and then you got the Twitch TV chat.
All right.
But we're gonna get to Emperor Kyle's topic because he was pretty upset about it earlier. About this whole Tengu thing. Like y'all didn't hear it. He had a crazy rant going on. It was insane about Tengu and how good that character needs to be in the game. Even though we know he's not gonna get bought. Like he's gonna make about $12. And
$6 are Cal's.
Yeah, exactly. Cal's gonna buy him like twice. Like, it's just
one for him and one for his tournament machine.
Yeah. But go ahead, Kyle. Let's hear your thoughts.
Yeah, the thing is, I mean, as much as I really do love Tengu. Oh, by the way, Tengu is one of Shimbori's favorite characters as well. I just like to throw that out.
Yeah, well, he says that every character is his favorite too.
No. The only reason Tengu is not in the game is because Hayashi doesn't want him. Because basically, they're being realistic about it, and we need to be realistic about it a little bit as well. Like, they're saying. Like, well, at least, like, Tengu is not very popular. So, at the end of the day, they need to make the money, like, in order to keep supporting the game and in order to keep making future iterations out of it. And making a character from scratch really costs a ton of money. It's not just about the render, it's about the balancing, it's about what moves to add, what moves to remove, like fixing the bugs here and there, fixing the weight class.
No damage.
It's there's so much to it than just copy pasting from another game, and people need to realize this. And if they're going to put Tengu in this game, they have to put him knowing that it will be a good investment, because a lot of money would be spent on making him. So saying that, as much as I really want him, I don't know if he's coming or not. But I don't want anyone to quote me on this and then like say, "Oh, Emperor Cal was wrong and Tengu came." I just feel that it's just a little gut feeling inside me that we might, like, Tengu players might, be a little bit disappointed this time around. I don't know. Maybe not. Maybe he'll be, lucky and we'll actually get Tengu and we'll be,
Going off of that, like I see it sort of like Leon. I'm glad that he's back, but people went and raged about him, and I've literally only come across 3 people that play him.
Yeah, exactly.
No, well, Leon did represent
very
a lot.
good.
Yeah, I'm saying bad or nothing. It's just nobody plays.
No, Leon still represents from time to time. I mean, Habbab won the tournament in Europe with Leon. Flack in Japan got second place with Leon.
Yeah, the second place Japanese.
Amazing Leon performance there. You still see Leon from time to time. Like, and when he comes, he's a fan pleaser. Like, he's a crowd pleaser. Everybody roots for him because he's the strongest man in the world. What can I say?
He does have some of the coolest throws in the game. Like, I'll admit that his throws are pretty fun to do to people.
And when a Leon player does something, he earned it, man. He worked his ass off to get that move. So when he gets that hit, everybody roots for him.
That's how I feel with Bass.
Oh yeah, definitely.
But Bass is an under the radar character. Matt be lying to people too. It's cool. Like,
yeah,
he be lying saying it's hard. The struggles aren't that real.
Bass is tearing you a new one.
I said the struggles aren't that real. Like, they're pretty real, but they're not that real. Like, Bass he go in on you and you be real sad when you lose because you don't even know what happened. Because you just die. You just die in like 2 hits. You're like, what the fuck just happened?
Yeah, it's what happened like in the tournament, in the Japanese
tournament.
One of the Japanese translators, they came over to me afterwards and said, I really like how this guy will get like an 18-hit combo to you, and then you do 4 hits and the guy's at the same damage.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm like, well, that's because for me personally, like I'm a
Four
super
hits,
turbo
3 of
character.
which are guaranteed.
Because nobody's struggling at 9 PP. They just get hitting that sit down stun.
You better be holding, motherfucker.
And then it's over. It's over now. It's done.
And what you're gonna hold? You're gonna hold the 9 PP this time? Okay, TFBB.
Yeah. Oh, you gotta sit down, and then he does his non-holdable critical burst. Like that's cool.
Right.
That has a follow up. That's all.
Minus 17 though. He is minus 17, so you can pretty much get free launcher.
Yeah, see, here you go talking that silly stuff again, but look, we're gonna just keep it moving. What do we think about Phase 4? We haven't seen much about her. At least I have.
I already know that Shade Swift Eye is dropping Kasumi and going to her.
Man, forget Shade Swift Eye. He be lying. He ain't gonna drop Kasumi. Like, he'll do it for like a week. He'll go to a tournament. He'll lose a set and be like,
yeah.
I'll go back. Matter of fact, I'm gonna just walk over to him and have like, man, what are you doing?
It doesn't look like she has the featherweight status of Alpha either.
Well, she got a big ass cloak on. I'm pretty sure that way like 30 times.
Well, she has skin too. That's another thing.
Yeah, you know, she's weird.
I'm
she wears
just
clothing.
To see what lane do they put her in? Because watching her play, it looks like she's able to teleport off of quite a few of her normals, which Kasumi can't do. It's kind of like annoying because it's like, why not leave Kasumi as is and just give this to her? Why are we getting another Kasumi? But whatever. But it seems like she's teleporting off all of her normals, which could pose as a really big issue if she is as fast as Kasumi.
Well, unless it's like Kasumi where it only happens on hit.
Right. That's what I think it should. I hope it's like that. But for instance,
seems to be only on hit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If she gets 3P as a counter hit, if Kasumi now, if I was able to do that off a counter hit 3P, like, it'd be murder. So and it seems like that in the little trailer videos and the combo videos when she does teleport off of it. It's like, because there are so many options from it, you know, you pretty much playing Russian. I guess it's the same thing like Alpha, just like what you were saying, Emperor Kyle. Like, how can you hold her at those hit levels? Well, I guess that's in her design. Like, while you're trying to figure that out, and then she buffers in that Half-Life throw, and then you try to hold something that's not there, and then the rest is history. So maybe
Alpha's fucking Alpha's stupid. I'm sorry. It's designed. She is such a scrub character. It's like I hate
honestly,
her.
Like I'm pretty sure I made myself and
I'm gonna announce this right now. If I lose in the tournament, I'm gonna lose to fucking Alpha.
Well, no, just dig this. I think myself, Ryujin, and Mamba feel that she's like the worst character in the game. And for me, my reasoning is that she lacks two of the biggest things in DOA that you kind of fear from characters. That's holds that do damage.
On wake-ups.
Yes, and yeah, she has no wake-up game, so you can pretty much put the most silliest things on her block, and there's really nothing she can do about it.
Yeah,
like,
but you see, that's all irrelevant when she's...
Oh yeah, when she stuns you, yeah, good game.
But, I mean, but that's when any character stuns you, though.
Like,
yeah,
any character can do that, though.
You know, it's like, she just hits you here, like, she just hits you with a stupid stun, goes into her fucking, loop of different height level randomness into.
I think y'all overrate that
one of
character a lot.
3 critical bursts.
Yeah,
all of which.
I'll say this, Emperor Kyle. Like, yeah, granted, yeah, when she stuns you, but like Chris was saying, how if Genfu stuns you, he's ultimately doing the same thing. Either you're going into an unholdable sit-down stun in which you're going to lose a substantial amount of your life, or you're going to hold. And then you're really gonna lose a substantial amount of your life. It doesn't change from like any DOA character. The same thing what Matt was saying. Like, I dare you to hold out of my sit down stun, and then you eat this throw. Like, it hurts.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
So I mean, it's the same thing with her. It's just like, if you're solid in the neutral game, you should be able to destroy Alpha because she lacks the things to, one, keep you off of her. And then you can keep doing you can play the most dumbest mind games against the character.
When she gets knocked down, man, she might not get back up, man.
Exactly. Yeah, like when I see her, I'm like, oh my god. Wait till when I see Alpha players, it's like, oh, the game is over. The moment I knock you down, that's it. Now,
exactly. Like that, and she's a super lightweight too, so you get like the dumbest juggles on there. Like
you have custom combos.
Yeah, I was saying, man, you just like activate the alpha mode, so you just go nuts on her, and you just hit her, and she loses like 70% with like not even a critical burst combo.
Yeah. And then when you knock her down, it's not like a typical DOA character. Well, let's play this 50-50. It's like, no, I knock you down, and it starts all over.
Yeah, and then I just run at you and start doing stuff, and you're like,
exactly,
and you have to deal with it now. Like that's why you see a lot of alphas. They get up and they mash like her somersault kick. They just mash it because they're hoping you would try to throw, but I'm not gonna throw you.
Yeah, I'm not.
The other thing, the other thing that people need to bear in mind is the amount of times she got nerfed as well.
Yeah.
It's like, yeah, I am saying she's stupid as hell, but she did get nerfed quite a bit. Like, she lost a lot of frame advantage that she used to have, and that makes her, like, you know, she's still stupid, but you still have to this is like being thrown out to the alpha specialists or whatever. That, like, right now, because of those, like, you know, because of all that rebalancing that she received, the alpha player has to think a little bit harder. Not too much, but just a little bit harder than before. Like, she's not as stupid as, say, Vanilla 5, where, you know, everything gives her, you know, guard break and you know, frame advantages and stuff like that. Now, that's all been thrown out right now. I kind of like this new balanced alpha. Well, not like her, as in I will play her. I don't think that'll ever happen.
He's not raging as much seeing her play.
Like, I mean, I can deal with her now a lot better than before.
I mean, I don't know. I think it just came with a lot of.
Had the most damaging throw in the game.
You think she does, or she should?
I don't think she should be having the most damaging throw.
Yeah, that throw is a little ridiculous. It is a little sad. It does.
If they're not going to nerf that, then Bass's TFBB needs to do 75% life. That's how it goes.
Did you really just say 75?
Wow.
It's like you hit like 2 down back punches and then you just TFD and they just die. Like, that's it.
Well, that's their fault for holding mid.
Really? All right, we're done here. Guys, don't listen to this guy, Matt. Man, I don't know. Oh my god.
Oh man.
I'm just like, you know, after they gave Bass that fucking offensive hold again from back turn. God damn, man, that character became so scary right now.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
You cannot
the Bass players have
been
wanting that thing back since it was taken away from us.
You cannot mess with Bass when he turns around, man.
That throw is my child, dude.
He said it's his child, yo.
I am serious. Like, I was the one who suggested that shit to them. I said, hey, Bass's back turn grab is never used. I think it'd be cool if it'd be an offensive hold. I remember Dr. Dog telling them, you know, I see no problem with that.
Oh, thanks, Dr. Dog, man.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Let's not go there. Let's not bring back old dirty laundry and let's just leave Dr. Dog in his little doghouse and you know, let him do his thing. This is Dead or Alive 5 Ultimate. He's gone.
Anyways, Bass's
probably won't show up until
very good,
another DOA where he have to write.
There's a lot of people that were disappointed with the game in general. I'm not sure why yet, but they were. I mean, I think it's a really big step from DOA 4. Considering what all the other newer games are doing, they're like pretty much doing the same thing.
Or they're trying, they're trying to go back.
Well, I mean, they're making it super accessible for people and make people at least not feel bad. I think the only game that makes, at least in my opinion, that would make you feel bad is like Tekken. Because somebody that plays that game, you can't even like get near them and touch them. They just like kill you and you just die. And you don't even know why. Like, you have no idea what just happened. Like, he just hits you, knock you down, and then you don't get back up. And you're like, all right.
You're not told what your defensive options are.
Yeah, like there isn't no clear-cut way to get out of anything. It's like, and then you ask them and they're like, you might want to block. Like, you might want to give that a shot. Like, you might not want to whiff that move right there because you just die after you do it. And it's really unforgiving. Like, even in like anime games, like at least you have, like, you can bait the burst, but at least you got that to get them off you for a second and let you at least try to push a button and do something random. And, you know, I think Tekken's the only game that it doesn't even give you that option against an average player, against another player that's even a little bit less equal skill.
I would argue that VF is kind of the same.
VF got some silly shit too. Like, I mean, you get knocked down, you might not get up, but you can at least hit jab and at least start to try to do something. It's gonna suck when they just sidestep and just blow you up, but at least you hit the button. Like Tekken, you just watch. It's almost as bad as Marvel, man. It's just a movie.
I remember wasting wasting 100 yen in a Tekken arcade machine in Japan. It was just like, well, might as well at least say I did this. And yep, okay, I watched my character be juggled halfway across the screen.
Yeah, and they get, you get wall carry.
I don't know what the hell I'm doing, like.
and then you don't even really get to get back up. You like try to get up off the ground, and then something weird happens, and you get knocked into the wall, but you're not really sure what happened, and he's not gonna tell you. So,
he's just like, you should keep trying. Keep trying.
Yeah, just like keep trying, friend. Keep trying. You're like, I'm not gonna keep putting my dollars in this machine.
I don't know what I'm doing.
Yeah, like, and I think that's what a DOA it brings. It definitely has a bigger, a much more approachable way to play lesser skilled players, but a lesser skilled player isn't even going to beat an average player. At least in DOA 5, that's how I see it. Like I see, I see a lot of the lower skilled players. They're just not able to really get anything started. They're like the hold is to the point now where it's not so bad. It's not a comeback mechanic like it was in DOA 4. Like in DOA 4, you could just pretty much get a couple counters and then GG.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
Or you were happy to be hit into a wall.
Yeah, you were happy to hit into the wall. Like thank God.
Here, let me just position myself in front of this danger zone.
Yes. A lot of us used to do that too back in the day. We would put our backs to the wall because that was a safe place, man. If you get hit into the wall, you just slow escape and fall, and it's safe.
And then you have an option of 4 different ways to do 3 different wake up kicks.
Yeah, 3 different wake up kicks, man. You just love it, man. It's good times. But DOA 5, man, I got a lot of good wall situations with throws. The wake up kicks themselves are nerfed. The holds are nerfed. Low holding is really nerfed. I think a lot of people didn't give it credit, but I think that comes a lot because like I said, we got to play on.
You're welcome about the low holds, by the way.
Man, them low holds. When they did that, I told him I still want him to be like -40, but he won't give me that. I asked him so many times, he just looked at me like, no.
No, my argument with when I had this argument with somebody over Twitter, like we were just just some Japanese ranting left and right. You could probably still see it on my tweets, like probably 2 years back, or a year back right now. About how when somebody goes for a just frame low hold, it's practically as fast as the fastest stagger escape. And I'm like, it shouldn't be that way, especially since it also eliminates a whole hit level. And he's like, I'm like, you should at least add a few frames just to make it, not as rewarding, just like make it longer so that people won't opt to go for that.
They still do.
Yeah.
They still do. I think it's
because no one's punishing it.
Yeah, that's the other
reason. It doesn't look like there's much animation.
No one's punishing it. Yeah, no one's punishing it. There are not enough pie players to punish it. 2.
Okay, he said pie players. Okay.
Yeah.
Let's keep it. We might. Okay, never mind. Go ahead, do your thing.
Yeah.
No.
I
think Alan knows what I'm talking about.
Best characters to punish low holds because she's guaranteed a critical burst from it.
Yeah, exactly. That's why Alan would agree with me with that.
Yeah,
Alan tells me about that.
I pray to God people low hold when I play with Pi. Like I try to know them enough with standing throws to get them to low hold, and I'm like, I wait for it. I'm like, please low hold, please low hold. But
then you just own their ass. That's the way. Yeah, that's how Pi works. It's beautiful. But let's go back to the point. Like people are still used to the old habits of the old game. For one, the other thing is what you guys said. People aren't punishing it all.
Yeah, punishment is like it's like a relic, man. You don't.
Yeah, oh yeah.
Like man, you'd be lucky to see something get punished. I've like been watching these matches this entire time. Man, nobody's throwing anything. Like they're just. The buttons are just being.
They on the buttons, yeah.
They on the buttons, like for real. I'm like, dang, man, if you just block for like 2 seconds,
it'll be okay.
Yeah, it's okay to block. Like I think people they don't believe in it because I guess it's
I think they get a little too afraid of the non-breaking throws.
I mean, but would you rather? The way I look at it, I think, which is something that Bill used to always tell us when we were playing back in the day, and it stuck with me a little bit. It's kind of like damage control. Like, do you really want to get stunned and just die? Or would you rather just take a throw that'll knock you down and you at least can get back up? Like some games you get knocked down, you're never going to get back up. At least you can get back up in DOA. At least. Except Alpha. She gets up and she dies. But the other characters in the game, they can at least get up.
Yeah.
Like they can, it's a very minimal damage situation. Like, yeah, sure, go ahead and throw me like 17 times. Like, and then the one time I do like some random launcher, you just die. Like I would rather guess that way than just like keep whacking the buttons and just keep getting stuck. Especially since the holes do such low damage now. Like they just don't do enough damage for me to want to throw that little bit of damage away. and keep trying to get counter hits all day.
Speaking of characters that really punish low holds very well, Mila is one of them.
Yeah,
Mila's low throw.
Yeah, she's really.
Mila's low throw puts you in a stun. Like on high counter, all you need to do is just put one extra poke in there, and you're instantly into CB. So basically, if you go low throw into 3P, that's a very long mid lift stun. You can go low throw, I think, into standing jab. That's another long stun, and both of them cannot be escaped, and you can go straight into critical burst.
Yeah.
And that's pretty devastating. People don't seem to look at those little things that make a character what they are, and I think people need to, like, before people jumping on the bandwagon of saying, "Oh, this character is weak and this character is strong," do your research. See what the character is capable of. Not every character is designed the same way. Yes, Alpha doesn't have her wake-up kick. Yes, she doesn't have her holds, but she is ridiculously fast, and she does have some insane damage output. So, yes, you can argue that she's bad in certain aspects, but she's really good in others. And the same could be said about any other character. Like, for example, we were saying Pi was really good at punishing low throws, and Pi's really good at, she has safe moves, she has speed, but she really, really struggles against sidestep. Yeah. Like, you want to stop Pi, you sidestep. Like, she hardly has any tracking strings. The only one I could think of right now is PK, and that's a high. And PK is a high. So if you fight against Kokoro, Helena, Akira, any character with a crouching sidestep, it's pretty much worthless.
And the sidestep in general in the game, it's hard to catch it, but it does tech crouch a little bit. Because at times, if you sidestep, it's hard to time it, but at times, if you can use a standard sidestep, and she may whiff it.
Yeah, exactly.
The sidestep isn't really used much either, though. Like, overall, but I think that's because a lot of people get hit by.
I've seen a lot more use of it.
Yeah.
They tend to wait for the final string, and in America they tend to just say, okay, I'm going to jab and interrupt this last hit of the string, and in reality, all they have to do is just sidestep the last.
Yeah, exactly. Right. That's what I say about a lot of the strings that people were not complaining about. They're having trouble with.
The Europeans and the Japanese tend to sidestep a lot more.
Yeah, I agree.
They sidestep a lot more, actually, from what I've watched.
So that's something Sweet Revenge might find a bit surprising, I guess.
I know. Just me sidestepping his Sarah in final round. He was telling me, he's like, "Wow, you really threw me off there." I'm like, "Dude, I was doing nothing. It's the only thing I could do as Bass."
Again, guys, we're gonna keep it going because he's trying to put out this false advertisement of Bass, and that's all he can do until he hits you like twice and you die. And I thought you couldn't do anything, Bass, and then you're dead, and you're like,
"What? Why did you do to stop that? Just don't get hit."
I mean,
I think we should probably wrap it up then because it's been about an hour, maybe a little more than that. We want to save some stuff for the next one.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
And it's 5 a.m. here.
Yeah, we don't want to kill Emperor.
He's going to pass out.
I have work in 2 hours.
Yeah, good luck with good luck with that, man.
Well, I mean, so let's recap real quick. We have the next event is Dead or Alive in Dallas 10, right? Dallas, Texas.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah,
that's June 7th, I believe, in the ACON convention.
Is it 10th or 7th? I thought it was 10th.
It's the 7th, I believe. June 7th.
Oh, okay. My bad.
Summer Jam is August
29th, I believe.
29th sounds about right.
I think it's 29th.
And then you have
it's 29th.
So then you have after that, those are the two qualifiers for TFC, and we'll be revving up for the Fall Classic. With $8,000 on the line, and it seemed like it was rumored by Eric Small when they did the announcement. He said that he's been hearing a lot of other things being talked about. So I can't wait to see what else they have to announce, because this may not be all of it. They might decide to do other stuff besides the $8,000. If there's one event I think that we all want to make sure you don't want to miss is Raleigh, North Carolina in August. It's August, right? No, October 10th to the 12th.
It's October,
October 10th to the 12th in Raleigh, North Carolina is the Fall Classic, $8,000 on the line. Overall, I think this is a good Good.
8,000 online and a lot of good competition. A good chance to come out there and learn the game and play offline. It's a good opportunity.
And if any of you in Europe and actually awake, come to ROF.
Yeah.
Yeah. Also that.
Yeah. It's next weekend as well.
That's next weekend. Yes.
Yeah. Whatever happened to Australia, man? I saw a post of Berserk, posting something about Australia having a tournament last week.
Well, we'll save that
for this week.
We'll save that for the next cast.
Yeah, because we're gonna wrap it up here soon, and we're gonna try to at least have something else to talk about before we talk about everything just right here, and then we don't have another podcast for 6 months.
Stay tuned, I guess.
Yeah, stay tuned.
1 week, 2 weeks, a month. Who knows yet? Well, just feel free to send back feedback to Chris Harris, NinjaCW on Facebook or Free Step Dodge. Give him back any ideas you want to see added to the format. Anything you didn't like about the format, please just trash those ideas. So thanks everyone for joining the first episode. We'll hope to do more of it.
Yep.
All right.
Thanks for watching, everybody.
All right. Peace out, everyone.
Later, y'all.
Take care. Good night or good morning, wherever you are.
It's good night.
It's definitely good night. It's good night for us.
Yeah.
It's good night, Cal.
Cal,
go to sleep.